Hey guys, it's Tori, and today I've decided to do a little kind of self-care reading vlog, maybe in some ways a life reboot vlog. Okay, let's start with just how I've been feeling. I've been in a major depression slump this summer, and honestly it's been going on since probably May, and I just keep feeling it, and it still comes in episodes, so hopefully in the next week or so I'll really be on the up and ups again, because it usually will be like I'll have a day or two where I feel pretty good and then I'm back to feeling depressed. It's just not been very much fun. I think my seasonal depression has actually developed more in a direction of going towards summer. I tend to be more depressed than winter, which in the past that it was the opposite. So I don't really know, but it's been, I don't want to like dwell on that too much, but that's why I really haven't done a lot of more fun videos, I guess. I don't know. I never dislike the videos I make. I just feel like I haven't been filming very much, and maybe part of it is I just haven't done very many vlogs, like reading vlogs, and I've really missed it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today / later. So moving more into what this video is. Today is Thursday, I don't remember what the date is, but it's the end of August, and I have the whole day off. I purposely planned to do as much as I could as far as editing and all of that jazz earlier this week, so I would not have to do anything today. I have things I could do, like sorting through my clothes, but I will only do that if I'm like, I just need to do something while listening to something else. I will do that, but that's the only reason I'm going to do that. I'm going to let myself just kind of have a self-care day, like I mentioned. And most of that will be focused around reading, because I just have not been reading as much as I would like to, and I've finally figured out a way to schedule out everything between the podcast and this to where I can have a lot more time to read and relax, which is very much needed. And I think part of why my depression has been so bad is because I've just been overwhelmed and I haven't been able to do the things I would like to do. So I have gone down with my podcast to doing every other week episodes instead of every week episodes. Maybe someday we'll go back to weekly if I end up in a position to, but as of right now, it's just easier on my mental health and my life and my friend's life to do them every other week and break them up a little bit more. So that's the new plan as far as that goes. I've already noticed a difference. Originally, I was planning to do like a weekend reading vlog next weekend because it's Labor Day weekend. I have a 3-day weekend and it's my birthday on September 2nd, so that's Saturday. And I was like, you know what, I'll just do a fun little care day. But my friend and I, who I do the podcast with, we are wanting to move out of our parents' houses. And we're starting to actively move in a direction of applying to apartments and seeing what happens, which means that it's very possible that next weekend, that 3-day weekend, could be taken up by moving, unfortunately, which I kind of hope it isn't, because I'm really looking forward to having a birthday weekend, but also I really want to get out of here. So either way, it will work itself out. Plus it means I would be able to reorganize my bookshelves, which I'm planning to get some new ones, and I have thoughts for my bookshelves and I'm very excited about them. As you can see, I've actually already started packing. I packed everything I've already read, and then a couple things I haven't read that I know I'm not going to get to. So all of these are just the books I have yet to read that I own. So we have my classics and my non-classics over here. Anyway, so that's why it's so empty behind me. Anyway, so yeah, that weekend could be taken up with that. So I decided to just do a full vlog between both. So today I'm definitely doing a self-care day, so I want to kind of discuss that and basically just take you with me on this reboot of my life. It could be just entirely self-care between this today and next weekend, which would be totally fine. But if I do end up moving, then you'll be able to see a little bit of the moving process and that just reboot. Like, I'm just really needing to reboot my life. Like, I'm going through everything in my room, like the old memory stuff. I'm going through every single thing and just being very hard on myself and being like, do I need this? No. And I'm planning, my next project is my closet, mostly clothes, obviously, but yeah, there's a lot of accessories and stuff that I just need to be honest and be like, I do not wear this. I need to get rid of it. Even if I like it, I just need to let it go. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. And that's the thing that I might do if I end up being tired of sitting and reading and just want to like stand and do something while listening to maybe booktube or something. So anyway, it's just going to be basically like a reset, reboot, life reboot vlog a little bit, starting with some self-care, like I said. So let me tell you what I've been reading. So first of all, if you saw my Shakespeare vlog, I have been reading Babel or Babel, I never know how to pronounce it, by RF Kuang. I am only about halfway through it. I've broken it up. It's just a very, especially this first half has been pretty slow, but very enjoyable, but just a slower read for me. And so I've decided to break it up in order to finish it within 4 weeks starting last week. So this is my second week of those 4 weeks. And I'm reading about 120 pages a day or a week in order to get through that. And so that is what's happening. So I will be reading some of this today. Thought so far, I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it is pretty slow, but I do really like the characters. The setting is very me. It's very scholarly. I'm kind of surprised so many people loved this. Not because it's not great and well written, but there's a lot of time spent on really using terms and stuff that I don't understand about translation. And it has a lot of scholarly like paragraphs that are describing translation and stuff just in a way that would work for the characters, so it's still bringing you into the world. It's not like the author is being obnoxious. It's just you're supposed to be with this friend group going through these classes, and so there's a lot of very difficult language in regards to that, no pun intended. And so I'm just surprised. Like, it's something I would of course like, and I think there's a lot of other people I can think of on BookTube who would like that, but there's a lot of people who have said they've enjoyed it who I'm like, oh really? Like, I just wouldn't expect. I feel like a lot of people would be like, ugh, this is so boring, it's so like scholarly and whatever, and I'm sure there are people like that, but anyway, I just haven't seen that. So anyway, all that to say, I will read at least 20 pages of this today, maybe like a little bit more than that depending on what happens. Then, who am I? I have started Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Now, I will probably have discussed this in a different video that I'm planning that you'll see before you see this one. I'm planning on it going up next week before I have my long weekend, so you'll likely have seen that. But my reading tastes, they're not really changing. I just have felt an adjustment with them, and with this whole reset thing, I just am letting that happen. And so I've just been really wanting something angsty and pacey, like a good old YA novel. And so I decided to go with this. I actually went to Barnes & Noble with my sister and I decided to pick this up. And I am about 50 pages in, so not very far, but I'm really liking it already. It's definitely hitting the spot and I'm excited to see how the rest of this book goes. I know the series has been a bit controversial, like the second and third books are pretty different from this first book. And so we'll see if I continue how much I like this, but for right now, this is what I really need. So I'm planning to read this today and hopefully we'll finish it, because that 50 pages, really I haven't been reading this that much, like, yeah, hardly at all. So the fact that I'm that far means that it's just a fast read, and it's a YA, so it is just a faster read, which is what I need. So anyway, yes, so I'll be reading that. If I finish that today, I'm thinking I'm going to read The Invisible Hour by Alice Hoffman. This will be my first book of the month book that I'm actually reading. This one came this last month as an add-on, and it's basically kind of a retelling of The Scarlet Letter, but it's sort of more of a homage, because there's this young girl who's in this community in Massachusetts who, in more modern times, whose mother's life really reflects that of Hester Prynne in Scarlet Letter, and so she feels really connected to that, and I think she feels connected to Nathaniel Hawthorne across time, I guess. I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen, but having read The Scarlet Letter fairly recently, I feel like this is a good time to pick this up. It's also not very long, so potentially I could finish both of these today if I really hunker down, but I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to enjoy my reading. So that's my plans for today, are those 3 books, and I'll update you on reading plans later when I do have my 3-day weekend and we continue to do some reset. So I think that's all for this clip. It's gone on long enough. I'm going to probably end up taking a bath today. I do want to show you a few things. I've been making plans for VICTOBER stuff, which I'm so excited. It's finally getting to that time. I'm really in a fall mood. I'm just ready for it to be fall. And so I have a Wuthering Heights candle that I was going to wait till VICTOBER to light, but part of me just wants to light it today. I may end up watching an episode or two of Gilmore Girls today because it's been so long, and again, I'm just in that fall cozy mood, and that's what I want today to be, is a cozy day. So I will keep you updated on thoughts on books and what happens within reason, since this vlog is going to go more than just today. And for sure, I will let you know by the end of today how things went as far as reading goes, and yeah, we'll just stick with that plan. All right, we're doing a bit of shaky cam. So I was doing this morning, after I stopped filming, I decided to look at some apartments. So that's what I was doing. Well, then I did read for like an hour and still enjoying Caraval, but I needed to take my mom to this volunteer thing that she's doing because we've had car troubles. Well, the car troubles didn't stop because then we came out, I started driving and it was rumbly, and I looked and one of my tires is flat. I do have to work tomorrow morning, and I'm also the only one here now. My mom just got a ride from a friend and nobody else is here, there's no cars here. So really I have to wait until later when my dad gets home, and then we can figure something out. But like, I have nowhere to go, I can't get a tire, I can't do anything. So hopefully I will still be able to read. I'm a little worried that the uncertainty and stress of dealing with this is going to get in the way of my ability to enjoy myself the rest of the day, but hopefully I'll be able to just set it aside, just wait patiently, and it will be fine. But so much for a self-care day, right? Hopefully I'll just be able to get the time I want to do that. But yeah, I'll let you know how that goes. So it's officially the next day. I apologize for any echoing in this clip. I am in my home library and it's just a little echoey because of the hardwood floors, but I wanted to mix up my location a little bit. So let's talk about yesterday a little bit. So first of all, my car, it actually ended up being a pretty quick fix. It took a couple hours to deal with, but ultimately there were some guys who were working on some things in my parents' backyard, and they happened to still be here when I was out with my brother looking to try to figure out, well, we needed to find a car jack. I had a spare tire, but my car did not have a car jack, and so we needed to find one. And these guys who were working on stuff in our backyard ended up having a car jack and offering to help us out. So they just changed my tire to the spare tire for me. Then luckily it was just a screw that got stuck in the tire, so I took it to my local tire place and they just fixed it up for free, and it was great. So thank goodness it wasn't a bigger deal. Still took time out of my day and a little bit of energy stressing over it, but it could have been worse. As for reading, I did finish Caraval, and I ended up giving this 3 stars on Goodreads. It was definitely very fun to read and just what I needed as far as it engaged me. It made me really want to read, so it did its job. The best thing about this, and probably the only thing that I really actively liked about this story, was the atmosphere and setting. Briefly, if you don't know what this is, this follows the story of a young woman who's in a very abusive situation with her father. She and her sister really want to get away, and so they find a way to run away to Caraval, which is this big game that happens over multiple nights. It involves a lot of magic and mystery. There's clues and you have to figure them out, and whoever wins ends up getting a prize. I don't know why I put a D at the end, but anyway, they run off to this game, and her sister Tella, the main character is Scarlett, and her sister Tella ends up being part of the game in that you need to find her. She gets taken by the leader of the game and you have to find her in order to win the prize at the end. There's some dark things going on. It's very interesting, and like I said, the atmosphere is wonderful, just all this whimsical magic. It feels very much like a big magic festival, and it was just a lot of fun to read about. The writing was really easy to get into. My issues with this that made it not higher than a 3-star mostly revolved around the characters and the relationships, and a little bit of the plot. A lot of the story really is a romance at its core. It's like there's the sister relationship and the romantic relationship, and those are are the main driving points of the plot. And while some of the scenes for the romance were very swoony and fun to read, I did not believe the romance. Like, frankly, these two did not know each other enough at all to fall as head over heels as they were, which, you know, sometimes is fine, but in this case, like, genuinely, they did not actually have any real conversations before they were both, like, just mega lusting after each other. And then it ends with you being supposed to believe that it's like this grand love story, and I just didn't feel that way. It felt very teenage lusty, and I just wasn't, that it didn't sell me on it at all. The guy also was nothing to scream home about. The girl, the main character, Scarlett, is so naive, and it was to a ridiculous point. Like, I feel like you could create a naive character like her because she's been very sheltered her life, so it makes sense. But I feel like she was naive in a way where the author didn't necessarily want you to think she was super naive, and I was just like, this girl is so naive. Everything she did, I was like, you are such a child. I'm sorry. Which again, she is, but I don't think the author was meaning me to feel that way, which is the problem. I also was really confused about this world. Like, Caraval seems to be like this big, grandiose game, and yet we don't really see much of the other contestants. Like, it's almost like nobody else is even trying to find her sister except for at the very beginning of the game. And then they all kind of disappear, and like none of them are able to figure anything else out. And I was like, that's really strange. Like, I feel like this game is just for her, but it just makes the world that feels like it could be so much bigger feel so small. I think that was my issue, was I just felt like this world was really small and didn't make sense. Like, if it was such a big thing, you would think that there would be more worldwide involvement in the whole situation, and there just really isn't. So it just felt very like it was a big world, but then it wasn't. Like, it was very enclosed. The plot line was very enclosed. So it just was hard for me to understand as far as the logic behind that. There's also a reveal in this that like didn't really work for me, because I felt like it was like kind of this big reveal, but the main character just kind of like was like, oh, cool. And then later on we find out her sister knew it the whole time, but like, I don't know, it was just weird the way it was revealed, and I was like, okay, I guess. And yeah, there were just weird things like that. That was probably the biggest one, but just weird things like that where it just kind of conveniently, like, people just figured things out, and it was this game was not nearly as hard as it was made out to be. Like, I just feel like this was very much, I don't want to say a YA book because there's a lot of complicated YA books, but it just felt very simple, where it was trying to create a world that was supposed to be complicated. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, it was just disappointing on a lot of levels. But like I said, it was easy, fun read, fast, and the atmosphere and setting was wonderful. Like, I could have just stayed in this setting and been very content. And then the swoony scenes were really swoony and nice. If I had liked the characters more and really believed their love story, I probably would have liked them better. But I mean, the process of reading them was really fun. So definitely one I would not turn people away from. I think it's good. I just don't think it's great by any means. So yeah, 3 stars for me. I'm not sure if I want to continue. Part of me wants to, because I almost feel like I'd like the second and third books better than I liked this one. But let me know down below, based on my complaints, what you think I would think about them, if you've read them, as I would love to know, and if you think I'd like them, then please do, because I know the second and third are following the sister more, or at least the second one is, and I know a lot of people were disappointed by that, which, I mean, the way this ends with the epilogue, like, I'm surprised more people wouldn't have expected the second one to follow the sister more, because it just very much leads into that. But anyway, that all being said, I think that because those two are a little bit different, I might enjoy them better. So yeah, just let me know. As for Babel, I am continuing with this. I did read my portion yesterday and today, so tomorrow I'll get to book 4, it looks like, and I am still enjoying it. I don't really feel like I have a lot to say about this book because it's not a very pacey book. It's definitely very much like being in the Victorian era, and you're following these students, and yeah, there's like some drama, but a lot of it is ideas and themes. I don't want to say that because it's explored in a plot way, It's not like they're just conversing about ideas and things, but it's explored in a plot way, but it's not a pacey thing. It's not like there's constantly stuff happening or anything, and it's not super magical or anything. But like, I'm not tired of reading it by any means, and I've been reading it for a few weeks. So the fact that I'm still content to just keep going, and I don't mind reading this every day, and I don't mind taking a few more weeks to do so, I think shows that it's a good one. I'll have to see how it ends before I know. I have no idea what I'll end up rating this, really. I think I definitely will give it at least a 4 stars unless the ending is atrocious, but I don't know if it will be a 5-star. It depends on how the rest goes, but so far, like, I don't really have any issues with it. Like, it's really good. I think my only issue might be the slow pacing, but like, it's not bothering me, so I would say it's a potential issue other people could have. So anyway, that's all as far as reading. I have not started the other book that I can't even remember the name of. I mean, I've read like the first couple paragraphs and that's it, so I've barely started it. Today I was able to tour a couple of apartments with my friend who I'm rooming with, and that went pretty okay. The housing market around my area right now is really bad as far as everything's really expensive in the area where I live, which is just very frustrating. It's very much the type of thing where things get really expensive, but like the amount they pay for most jobs is not livable by any means. But we'll see. We found at least one place we want to apply to for now, and hopefully we'll get it. I think our biggest obstacle would be our income. Both of our credit scores are relatively good, and we don't have any like issues with the law or anything, so it's really just our income that could get in the way, but I think we might be okay. We'll just have to see. I really don't know. So anyway, that's that. And yeah, that's all I'll have to say. I don't know if I'll update this. I don't think I'll update this again, probably until next weekend when I have my 3-day weekend, unless something comes up where there's a self-care element. Like if we get the apartment, then I might come on here and let you know that. If I end up finishing that other book, because it's only like 250 pages, so potentially I could finish that other book and update you on that, but we'll just have to see. All right, so it's been a few days since I last updated you, and in the meantime, I have officially been approved with my roommate for a new apartment, and I'm so excited. So it is currently Thursday, the 31st of August in the evening, and our move-in day is tomorrow. We're not going to move everything in, at least I'm not right away. Tomorrow I'm probably just going to see, I don't really have anybody who can help me who's not busy tomorrow. So I have to wait till Saturday before the bulk of my moving, but tomorrow I plan to hopefully pack my car up with as many boxes as possible and just take those, so we at least have some done. And then Saturday we'll be doing most of the moving, especially of the furniture and stuff. However, my books potentially will move on Saturday, but it may be Monday that we move them. It is Labor Day weekend, so I do have a 3-day weekend, which works out very nicely. And I'll of course take you along with me. I'm pretty much all packed up. I just have a few things that are like things I need for the next few days that I don't have packed up yet. Additionally, I have a bedside table that my brother made in high school that I've been using. You've probably seen it in some of my videos. I've used it often as kind of like my Harry Potter area, at least the top of it, and then inside I usually keep some of my more childhood favorites. But this time moving out, I'm going to paint it white so that it matches the rest of my decor, and then use it as an actual bedside table. So that will be great. And tomorrow, even though I'm not going to be able to move very much, I am intending to go to IKEA with my mom to get bookshelves. I really just want nice matching great bookshelves. That's going to be my main splurge as far as getting ready to move, is getting those bookshelves. So I'll take you with us to IKEA, do some footage of the moving process. It is my birthday this weekend as well, so I do intend to treat myself a little bit with that. I have plans with family and then potentially a few other things. I would like to read at least one book all the way through this weekend if possible, but I'm more I'm more focused, I guess, on moving. So anyway, that's it for now, and we'll just go right into a little moving montage.
Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things, and welcome to another video, and welcome to a video that I am always very excited to make every year. Today I am delighted to announce the coming of another VICTOBER.
I'm Marissa, and today I am thrilled to announce this year's VICTOBER Readathon.
Welcome to one of the most exciting things I got to film this year. Today I'm announcing that I am one of the VICTOBER hosts again.
I am beaming because this is one of those happy moments of the year. It's the announcement video for VICTOBER.
I am here today to announce VICTOBER 2023.
Okay guys, so I think I'm going to end the vlog with this last clip. You would have seen a montage of kind of some random stuff going on. Moving, of course, was happening. I did not get very much footage inside of IKEA. I know that was what I said in my last clip, but I forgot. So sorry about that, but you would have seen some birthday celebrations. We went to Black Bear Diner for brunch the other day, and that was delicious. And then you will have seen my shelves. I did get up. I haven't put all of my books on. I put a few on, as you can see over there, but I haven't done a lot yet. So I'll probably do a separate video where I do kind of a new library tour. I've never done a bookshelf tour, so let me know if that would be something that would interest you, because I actually don't really watch bookshelf tours very much. Sometimes I do, but often I'm more drawn to other types of videos. But if people want to see my new shelves in depth, I'm happy to go through all of them and all of the books I own and stuff. But I'll probably do something where I kind of show some of the process of me deciding how to organize my shelves, and then do maybe general sections. So let me know down below which of those two versions you'd like. If you want one that's super detailed and long and will show all the books I own, or if you just want kind of an overview of my process of figuring out how to organize it, and then the general organization. That will be happening throughout the rest of this week, which is why I'm finishing this vlog here, since this one's kind of a combo of everything going on and my comfort day that turned into a less than comfortable day, unfortunately. But let's just finish off thoughts. So moving in, it's been great. I'm already really enjoying where we're staying. I think it will end up being a really good place for me and my friend, and that we'll have a good time here. So that's great. As far as life in general, I've definitely continued to feel better. So I think this kind of cool down of temperature, and we've had a little bit more overcast days, I think that's helped me a lot. Never perfect, but definitely better, so that's good. I haven't been able to read like at all, which has been really disappointing, honestly, but also just kind of the way it is. Like, I've just been really busy with moving and stuff, and I also need to do some editing for getting our next podcast episode up, so I've been focusing more on those two things over reading. But hopefully the rest of this week, once I finish getting the second half of our podcast episode up, I'll be able to focus more on reading. So, thoughts on everything. So, Babel, I'm still not done, but I'm getting closer and closer to the end. I think I have just over 100 pages left. So, I'll definitely be able to finish this, hopefully as soon as possible. And I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely taken a different path, or a new path, maybe is a better way to describe it. It's just made a new turn in the plot that is very intriguing, and I've really enjoyed reading this portion of it. This book is so interesting because I wouldn't say I'm like I don't get super excited reading it or anything. I'm not like, oh my gosh, but like I'm just content reading it and I don't have any issues with it. Like it's just a very thought-provoking book. And the setting and atmosphere is just something I really am enjoying being a part of, and the characters are all interesting. It's just a great book. I don't really know what to say. Will it be a favorite of all time? I don't know. Maybe. It's so weird because I genuinely I don't get that giddy, excited feeling reading it, but I just am super content reading this and thinking about it, and yeah, I just have very positive feelings towards it. So we'll see. It might be on the favorites of the year or it might not. The other one I'm reading, as you know, is The Invisible Hour, and I am further into it, still not very far, but I am past the first chapter, which the first chapter is like 40 pages long. So and out of 240 something pages or 50 something pages, that's pretty far in. So there's only like 200 pages left. And I'm really enjoying this. It's definitely giving the Scarlet Letter vibes and I'm really enjoying it. I think this will just be a book that I'm just happy to read as well. I don't know if it will be a favorite, we'll have to see, but I think it's one that I'll just enjoy and really be happy I read. So we'll see, but yeah, so far so good with this. I don't know if I explained what this is about very well. Basically, it follows a mother and daughter. It starts off with the mother, so that's what I've read so far. And she gets pregnant out of wedlock. It is current day, but she gets pregnant out of wedlock and ends up running away and joining this cult. And she ends up actually married to the leader of this cult. So that's not really a spoiler. I mean, kind of. Like, this book isn't very long, so kind of, but it all happened in what I've read so far in the less than 40 pages that I've read. So I don't really feel like it's a super spoiler, but anyway, so she marries this guy and she has this child in this cult community, but the community is like very communal. Like all of the children belong to the community. They don't belong to individual parents. And so this baby doesn't get taken from her, but it's like treated as if it's not really just hers. But she is very attached to it and she ends up feeling kind of stuck in this community. And so then I believe the rest of this book is primarily going to follow the daughter as she grows up and stuff. And I think there's some level of witchy magical realism stuff that connects her to Nathaniel Hawthorne, which is why I said earlier the Scarlet Letter vibes are very much there, because this is very much a homage to the Scarlet Letter and Nathaniel Hawthorne, I believe. So yes, we'll continue reading both of those and I'm sure I will enjoy them both by the end. I would love to finish both of them like this week, but I really don't think that's gonna happen. It could, but I really don't think it will. We'll just have to see. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for now. Like I said, I'll give you more of a bookshelf overview at some point soon. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you've read any of the books I've mentioned in this video, what your thoughts were on them. Also, let me know how your reading's been going in general, especially during the summer. I did make a video recently that discussed the idea of reading taste changing and mood disorders and things like that and how that impacts reading. But even here, I've discussed that a lot, so let me know down below what your thoughts are on that, if you didn't mention it on that video or just have further thoughts that you'd like to share. I'd love to hear them. I also want to say a big thank you to all of my new subscribers and recent new commenters. I feel like I've had a lot more comments on my videos recently and I've really appreciated it, so thank you. I do love hearing your thoughts, even if they don't necessarily match with mine. Like, I love just hearing the different opinions and viewpoints on things, and I think that's all for me for now. So again, thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!